Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mike Armstrong podcast show. And this afternoon, I'm joined by Elnette Parsons, who's from Pure Physique Fitness in Reading. And we've literally just met on an online Zoom call at Intrabiz event with Elnette come on as a guest, as a visitor. And this is our first networking chat, really. So, how are you doing today, Elnette? You okay?
I'm very well, thanks. Been busy, connecting with lots of people, helping lots of clients to feel better. Yeah, so it's all systems go, on the go all the time.
Brilliant, brilliant. And yeah, I do a lot of business networking. I've actually been a member of Intrabiz where we met for about
Yep.
8, 9 years now. I can't remember, the time flies when you're having fun. I'm an ambassador for them as well, and I do a lot of networking elsewhere. I was also the first award winner of Networker of the Year at Intrabiz in 2018, which was the first time they give that award out on their 10th anniversary. So yeah, I like to network, and that's why I've got a podcast which is all about networking, chats, and getting to know people and getting to know their businesses, etc. So usually I like to ask first off how the lockdown has been for you, and if you've done anything particular in your business to pivot during that time.
Right, so I am in a transition phase from a full-time job. I'm a teacher, so I teach hospitality and catering in a secondary school. But my first love is my health and wellness, my nutrition and personal training. So I do that part-time, and obviously I would like to be full-time in my wellness business. So the lockdown has actually been fantastic for me. I have managed to finish all my schoolwork. So now in the holiday time, I have been networking. I've been networking in America. I've joined a couple of groups in America as well, which has been really interesting. So this lockdown time has given me quite a lot of time to focus and to know what I really want. And I am just using every minute being productive to have everything on point. So when I go back to school on the 31st of August, my wellness business, I've done all the foundation work and I can really get my online business going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've locked down for me. I know there's lots of people who struggled, but for me it was a time of discovery and really honing in on my goals. So I've set a goal that in a maximum of a year, minimum of a year's time, I want to be out of
Employment.
teaching.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I've had a very similar experience during the lockdown myself. Luckily, I don't know anyone who's been affected by the virus, which I think makes a big difference on how your lockdown experience has been. And for me, I was used to working from home anyway, so the routine, everyone else has joined me in my routine rather than me getting knocked out of the routine. And
Mm-hmm.
like you, I've done some contemplation, some creativity, some inventing, etc. So I've had an amazing time. I've written a book. I've written some seminars and courses, and I've come up with what I think is going to be my life mission now. What I want to go around teaching people for the rest of my life. And I've created a podcast and a YouTube channel and got consistent with creating that content. And so it's just been, and I've been able to help lots of people as well, which I like doing. Because this is a time when people have needed help, either paid
Yes.
for or not. So yeah, it's just been a great thing, really. And I love networking. I've gone from networking twice a week in the real world to 8 times a week online. Um, and yeah, and I've gone from so when I won a Networker of the Year award in 2018 at Intrabiz as top networker in their Wales network, which is the biggest network in Wales. I decided to go networking around the UK. I used to be a national sales director anyway when I was in the corporate world. I decided to leverage that award and start going networking around the UK. And since then, since lockdown, I've started networking globally now. So, because my mission is to become a global speaker. So now I'm on that path to meet people around the world who can help me to potentially get to that point at some point. So we're both, it looks like chasing our big goals and not our, the little ones that we're doing whilst we're employing and working for someone else.
Yes, definitely. I think it's also with the networking, you realize all the talent and the different people that's out there that can help you to get your business on the go because as they say, time is money, and I'm a great believer. If I've got a problem, find someone that can help me solve that problem, so that I can do the things that I know I'm good at.
Yeah.
So hence all the networking, and also why I'm chatting to you today, because obviously I would like to be out there the same as what you would like to be out there, to offer our services to the wider public.
Yeah, well, I'm an expert at sort of sales, marketing, networking, social media. They're my four babies, if you like. And I love helping people. So if ever you need any help in any of those areas, then feel free to contact me. If there's a way that I think I can add more value and there's a service in there, then, I would mention that. But I quite like helping people anyway. I believe the more people you help in this world, the better, the more successful you'll be in life anyway. So if people haven't got budgets necessarily, I'll work with them anyway to deliver value, because the people I trust to work with on those sort of situations anyway, I trust that if things go well in the future, they'll sort me out down the line,
Yes, I think it's Jim Rohn who said it, that if you help enough people to get what they want, you will get what you want in the end. And it is like I said, we all have different budgets, but in my line of work, I do like short intro conversations, and even in a half an hour free consultation, you are able to help someone and put them on the right path. I mean, health and wellness is quite a daunting thing or concept for lots of people, but when it's been broken down into simple steps and simple goals, it's not that complicated and not that difficult. You just need someone to keep you on the right path. And that's what my passion is, to educate people and help them understand that you don't have to feel tired all the time. You don't have to be in pain. You don't have to be out of breath when you walk down or up the stairs. There are things that we can do to improve that. And during this lockdown, I have helped loads of my clients to get out of pain and to sleep better, and just in general have a better quality of life.
Yeah, well, that leads nicely onto something I created during the lockdown period, which was a 5-step happiness formula. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always been into health and fitness and stuff, especially when I was a kid. But as being in the corporate world, sometimes exercise and looking after yourself gets cut a little bit when you're busy doing lots of other things, and it's all a matter of priority. Time's a matter of priority. But since the lockdown, I've been exercising twice a day, every day, pretty much since the lockdown, because I think, well, if there's a killer virus out on the
Yes.
loop, yeah, then when's a better time to get fit? Plus, also, if you're not losing all the time traveling around that you're normally losing, then when's you've got the time and you've got the motive, if you like. And I decided I was living my best life really in lockdown, getting to exercise every day and not just every now and then when I could. Yeah. And
Yes.
that led me to come up with a happiness formula, which is scientifically proven, which is called the SMART happiness formula. And it consists of sleep, meditation, ability to perform, which covers exercise, nutrition, and hydration. Yeah. Random acts of kindness, and target setting and achievement. So SMART. Yeah. And
Yes.
and the SMART formula, I can pretty much guarantee, will make anyone happier than they are without that formula.
Yeah, it's everything together. None of these things can be seen in isolation. And all of us lack in one or other area. But if we can identify what that area is, then you can better it. And then your whole body and everything will, so to speak, work like a well-oiled machine. But I think the problem nowadays is that people are so used to being constantly in pain or always being tired that they think that's the norm. It's normal. And they just go from day to day stuck in that rut. And when you talk to them about it, they would go, "No, I'm not really. I'm okay. I function every day like that." And then when they start making small changes, they go, "Oh my goodness, I didn't realize actually that this has made such a big difference." So my friend, she is a rugby player, and she hurt her ankle a year ago, and it's always been swollen. And I've been working with her for the last couple of weeks, And I said to her this morning, how do you feel? She said, I don't know if I can say a major change, but what I can tell you is my ankle that's always been swollen is not swollen anymore. So unless you talk to people, and that's why it's important to have that relationship with people, you can't just put them on a path and then leave them. You need to be in contact and guide them, because she didn't even think that was a biggie until I asked her, think about your whole body. Are there small changes? And then she realized my ankle is not swollen anymore.
Yeah, definitely. And like, so I was living the happiness formula myself, and then I looked into it, and scientifically, all of the aspects of that, they all produce endorphins, they all produce hormones, they all, so that scientifically they're guaranteed to make you happy. If you can live your best life and actually work on all of the areas of your life that do contribute to happiness. A big part of it, as in with anything, is the mental, your mental sort of toughness, if you like, or your mental attitude. Once you've got that right, if you then work on all of the component parts of what makes you happy, then you're guaranteed scientifically to be happier than you would if you didn't work on all those areas. And I think that you're quite right. I think most people work on a big percentage, 70% of the areas they need to, but it's just the last 10, 20 or 30% that if they get that right, they can then become much more happier, and also much more fitter and energized, which then is the secret to actually being able to go and achieve whatever they want to achieve at much higher operating levels, because, you're running. It's a bit like, the engine, like a Ferrari engine. If there's any of the pistons are misfiring or anything at all, it could all be almost right, but then it could just be one thing that's just not putting the full power through. And then once you sort that little one thing out, the engine purrs like a machine, like the machine is being built to do, and it can just, create so much energy and momentum then, because it's all working together rightly,
Yes, I think also people don't realize that, like you talk about mental resilience, and your mind controls everything, and that it's so important to feed your brain with the right nutrients, the right type of exercise, the right type of literature, what you watch, what you do, all of that contributes to you being alert and functioning properly. And then very small tweaks can actually help you to keep your brain active and in optimal condition to give you mental alertness.
Yeah, it's about pushing yourself. To me, human beings are like all other parts of nature. They like to progress, they like to grow, they like to develop. And if they are stuck in the same, for me, if I'm stuck on a plateau for a while, I'm depressed and I'm negative, and I don't feel I'm growing in the right direction. But as long as I'm developing and I'm growing, I'm pushing on, then I feel happier and more satisfied with my life. And I think if people get out of the ruts and actually just keep pushing themselves a little bit, keep stretching their boundaries, the boundaries they put on themselves to be able to achieve and to be able to do, and they just work on slight marginal gains every day, every week, every month, every year, and just keep growing as an individual and as a person, then they're much more likely to have a satisfactory life and a happy life than one where they end up in a plateau and not going anywhere, and everyone calls it stuck in a rut, or the hamster or the rat in the rat race.
It is, that's true. I guess the media and all the noise that's around health and well-being and exercise and what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat is also confusing people. So it's very important that if they want to embark on a new health and wellness journey, that they find someone that they trust and like that can help them. Because I bet you 50 to 100 years ago, people didn't pick an apple from the tree and then first thought, where did this apple come from? How many miles has it traveled? What's the chemical composition in it? They just ate it because they knew it was good for them. Now we've got so much noise and conflicting information that people are confused, and something that's actually so simple and so beneficial becomes something that people have to think about days before they would actually try something new or apply it to their health.
Yeah, well, that's why I think it's important in life to select carefully who you're going to learn from, and to be able to block out all of the rest, so you actually
Yeah.
filter that noise and all of that mess. You know, like you said, there's way too much going on in the world for most people to make sense of it, which is why they don't make sense of it and why they stay in the same position. So what I've learned to do, you know, it's like at the beginning of the lockdown, I watched the news for a short while and then I just switched it off. Then I'm not interested in 24 hours of the same subject of the news and analysing the inside out of every single story and every single situation. That you don't need to know that much information. All you need to know, like, you know, all you need to know is what are the symptoms, what are the rules, and how do I carry on living my life? Like, you know, that's all you need. You can learn that off one episode of the news. You don't need to watch it all the time. And it's the same. There's a lot of people educating stuff out there. There's a lot of people who educate hypotheses that aren't even tested, you know, or analysed, you know. So again, why study off somebody like that when you can study off somebody who's actually learned some hypothesis or had some hypothesis, put it into action, and then measured all of the results from that action and analysed the analysis, and then really, you know, that detailed. But they're the sort of people I like to learn off, because I know they've been it, they've done it, they got the t-shirt. And so I know I filter out all the rest of the noise and just listen to the grandmasters who are going to teach you the proper, authentic way of doing anything you want to learn.
Yeah, the media can be a bit of a stumbling block. And normally the things that's really good, the media forget about, and they just like the quick fixes. So education is really the key. It's so important that your clients understand what the benefits are of something and how it's going to address a problem for them, because ultimately they want to solve a problem.
Yeah, okay. So obviously you can solve a number of these clients' problems. How do you go about solving them at the moment? Are you still one-on-one, or are you one-to-many? Do you have online stuff? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so at the moment I'm working a lot with people that has inflammation. So inflammation causes a whole host of problems, as we know, lots of conditions, pain, allergies. Some people don't sleep well, exhausted permanently. So what I do at the moment is I help people to balance their omega-6 and omega-3 levels. So how do we do that? We do a dry blood spot test where the client does a test. It gets sent away to an independent laboratory. They don't know who you are, you're just a number. And they then measure the fatty acid composition of your blood cells. So if that balance is not correct, your cell membranes are becoming hard and impermeable. So what means is waste can't go out that easily and nutrients can't get in that easily. So then you won't function optimally. If your ratios of omega-6 to omega-3 is good and in the right ratio, then your cell membranes will be permeable and the waste will go out and the nutrients will come in. So ideally, we want a ratio of 3 to 1. 3 parts omega-6, 1 part omega-3. Now, most people is 15 to 1 and above. And we've done over 500,000 tests. And so far, only 5% of the people in the world has come out with a ratio of 3 to 1. So what then happens is after a consultation, we have a different product. So if someone is vegan, they'll have a vegan oil. If they don't mind fish, then they have the normal fish oil. And you use this product for 4 months. It's about 120 days. And then you do a test again, because it takes 120 days for the blood cells to renew. If your score is in balance, you can choose whether you want to carry on with the product. Otherwise, you don't have to. But lots of people see amazing results. They might have started it because they had a sore shoulder, but then the other, so like we say, side effects is you sleep better, you have more energy, you just are more alert. we have a lady, she's 86, and she said she feels as if her hearing is better and her sight is better. It's obviously because omega-3s are so good for your brain. My hairdresser that I've known for 15 years, she's got fibromyalgia. And I, in fact, did a little interview on her. It's trending on social media. And she said to me yesterday, she cannot believe how good she feels. Her pain is almost gone, and her work is so much easier. So it's something so simple, and it is scientifically proven. So a client gets a 21-page report that's showing all their fatty acid levels and what they need to improve it. And then I will help you with your diet. And if I can put some exercise in there for you, then I'll do that as well.
Okay. How do people get in touch with you if they want to subscribe to any of your products or services?
So I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram.
What do they search for when they're looking for you on those social platforms?
So on LinkedIn, I am as Elnette Parsons. I am in the process of overhauling my social media, but Elnette Parsons. If you look for Elnette Parsons, you will find that there's not many people with my name. My phone number, I can give you that as well, and my email address. They can get me through that. So shall I put it in the chat for you, or do you want me to say it?
Can you text it to me or message it to me on LinkedIn, and I'll put it in the description when I post it out? Yeah.
And my approach is people need to understand what they, I need to talk to them, and it needs to be a personal approach because it is something that is personalized to that person. So they get into contact with me, I'll have a quick chat with them, do a consultation, and then see where I can help them. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I've got something else I've got to jump onto, and I'm conscious of not missing that. So it's been great to catch up with you and listen to you about what you do, etc. I think I'd love to get you on again, or maybe we have a phone call and we'll carry on with the conversation, because I think there's some more areas that we might be able to work together on and collaborate on.
Brilliant. Yes, I would love that. I would really love that. Okay. And thank you very much for your time. It was lovely speaking to you.
Thanks very much for coming on the podcast, and I'll send you the links to the YouTube and the podcast once I'm posted them, okay?
Okay, brilliant. And can I then put it out on social media?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. That was very interesting. I loved it, and I would love to come back.
Okay, brilliant. I'll get you on again then sometime soon.
Okay, fantastic. Have a good evening.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.